This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good morning. I'm going to call to order the Town of Ocean Ridge Special Magistrate Code Enforcement hearing. It's October 1st, 2024. It's 10 a.m. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the Special Magistrate for this morning's hearing. First thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to speak on any items on today's agenda. So if you're here for a code enforcement case, and I'll include town staff as well, if you could stand if you're able and raise your right hands for me. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you both. I think this is a violation hearing, so the way that it's going to proceed in terms of process is the case will be called, the town will go first, they'll put on their case, any evidence they wish for me to see, call any witnesses that they have that they're going to have testify on the matter, and then when the town is finished, you'll come to the podium that's right in front of me here. You'll give me any testimony, verbal or otherwise, that you have, any documentation. You can cross-examine any of the town's witnesses. And at the end of that, I'll make a final ruling that you'll get in paper form in an order in the mail after the hearing. With that, keep in mind all your testimony is given under oath. So with that, I'll turn it to the town. I will let the record note that I have approved the September 6th, 2024 minutes as drafted. And with that, I'll turn it to the town to call its first case.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Christy Gott on behalf of the town of Ocean Ridge. Your Honor, we have one case on today's hearing. It's case number 2024-022. The property owner is Ava Rosenberg Drummond. Property address is 6520 North Ocean Boulevard, unit number 35 in the town of Ocean Ridge. This case involves work without permits. We have Kelly Avery, the town clerk, here to testify on behalf of this case. And for the record, we have the notice of violation, notice of hearing, the proof of service, and the property appraiser's information showing proof of ownership, and the town's cost recovery worksheet, which is cost of $173.96. And I'll turn it over to Ms. Avery to testify as to the basic facts of this case.
Okay. We received notice from the police department that they had been called out, I guess, over a weekend with working at a condo. And so they checked it out. They, I guess, had asked if there was a permit. They did not have a permit. So they told them to come in and get one. They came in, I guess, and spoke to the building official, and he explained to them they needed to get a building permit. So we've just kind of been waiting for that to happen. I gave probably about a week and a half or so before I issued a notice of violation, since the time that they got their first notice from the police. And when I didn't get anything, I went ahead and sent out a notice of violation for the building official. And then we gave them, the 14 days to come in and get a building permit application, or get one submitted, I should say. And we did receive one this morning. So that's where we stand now.
Okay, so you have an application in as of this morning?
As of this morning.
Okay. Given the time in the morning, has it been reviewed or has it just been accepted?
Accepted.
Okay. Okay. And did you send the notice documents certified mail? And it looks like I have an affidavit of posting in here. They were posted.
It was posted. There's the picture of where we posted on the door. I did mail it out. I never got the receipt back.
Okay. What is the town seeking in terms of remedy today?
Your Honor, what we'd like to do, and we just, Ms. Avery and I were looking at the permit, is to set a time for compliance that's based on completion of the work. Since they have come in and applied for a permit, and the town's permit process is pretty quick right now, we'd like to set an outside date to bring it into compliance, meaning the work's completed. But looking at the permit and what all has to be done, we don't really know the time frame. So perhaps we could hear from the respondent to discuss a time frame for the work to be completed.
Okay. Okay, you're up, ma'am. You're here for this case?
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you give me your name, please?
My name is Ava Rosenberg Drummond.
Thank
Can you
you.
speak into the microphone? You just lift that up.
Do you need?
Don't need to touch that. Yep, just lift that up. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with the documents. So the documents that are scrolling on the screen behind me, those are what the town is asking me to put into evidence for this case. it's the notice documents for today's hearing, the affidavit of posting, the code sections, and I think maybe some photographs. Do you have any objection to those documents?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, so it looks like some kind of work is being done without a permit. You applied, you brought the permit in this morning, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. What, I guess give me a little bit in terms of what your time frame is for completing the work. Time frame for completing the work? How long
I'm
is?
waiting for the cabinets to be like received.
Okay,
And they said it would take 3 to 5 weeks, but because of the hurricane, I don't know if it would be delayed. So it should come in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
and what's the scope of the work that you're doing?
Well, I got flooded, so I need to change the floor where it was flooded, where the boards were taken out.
Okay,
So I need to replace the vinyl floor and put in the cabinets.
so that's all that you're doing in the kitchen is just the cabinets?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
There was some electrical backsplash as well, but I don't know how much, that shouldn't take much more time. Can all be done around the same time. I was just explaining the electrical and the backsplash. as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah.
Has your contractor given you an estimate of like how long it will take to get the whole job completed?
Well, he said that he wants to wait for the cabinets.
Right.
And so for him to, once we receive it, he said, and just putting in cabinets and then he would do the floor afterwards. But
Okay,
because I have my apartment is full, he would need to move furniture, so it will be a little bit slower than the empty apartment.
right, right.
I would imagine like 2 weeks, but he didn't say how many days he would need.
Do you think it would be done in 90 days?
Oh, definitely, I'm tired of.
So maybe if we set a compliance date for 90 days, that would be fine, because the way code enforcement works is if we set a compliance date, no fines accrue until after the compliance date.
Okay.
And this is just to make sure that the work gets
Yeah.
done under the permit. So, Your Honor, we would ask that the compliance date be set for 90 days. And if not, a fine of $100 per day, plus the town's costs.
and do you also want a date on issuance of the permit to ensure that the permit gets issued?
Honestly, I kind of briefly looked through the permit. I don't think it's gonna be a major issue. I wouldn't see why it would be done by the end of this week.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do 30 days on the permit because because if the permit never gets issued, then the work never gets done, and then I think,
Okay.
and technically the violation is work without a permit. So step one is they've got to get the permit. If you have that in, 30 days should be more than enough time. You have the application in as of today. So, and the town clerk is telling me that she thinks it looks pretty good. So, what I'll do is what's essentially a bifurcated order. It'll say that you have 30 days to get the permit issued by the town, and then 90 days to complete the work under the permit.
Okay.
That way it's essentially a two-step process, but I don't think you'll have any issues with step one. But because step two can't happen until step one happens, I think it makes sense to have the order reflect both. Did your contractor just not know that they needed a permit?
Well, I had the first contractor, and when I asked him if he need anything, he said that the Florida rule does not require, so I didn't question him.
Okay.
And then it turned out that the city does require for changing floor and cabinets, it does require permits, so. And he said, oh, already I'm submitting. And then I was checking why it's not coming. I came to the city and city informed me that he has not submitted. So I fired him. And then I needed to look for other contractors, and so finally I got one who
Yeah, I would always call the town yourself and make sure you understand what permits, because that's a very common problem where contractor says, you don't need a permit to
Right.
knock the house down and build a new one. It's fine. I'll handle it for you.
Well, he said that because it's like, you are not changing anything, just replacing what is there. Okay. Didn't question that, it seemed like, and he showed me on the floor and walls what he showed, like, what he was reading, so I didn't come to my mind to the day.
Hopefully now you'll be like,
No,
wait a minute, let me call the town and just make sure that the
Yes.
town agrees with the contractor. 'Cause
Yeah,
I hear that more than you would believe in these cases. And it actually does you a service to have a permit because it shows that the work is being done and it reflects that on the valuation of your house. So it's actually in your best interest to have the permits pulled, and the
right.
more important thing is that they're inspected, right? So the work that's
Right.
done is inspected and
Quality,
it's done
yeah.
correctly in accordance with the building code. So it actually benefits you the most, but, okay, anything further you'd like me to hear?
I would not know if there's anything.
This one's pretty straightforward. Just keep in touch with the town. I mean, this is a small town, so if
Yeah, like,
there's
I
any
didn't know that
issues.
I needed to respond to any of the letters or bring in or anything, apart than just asking contractor to come in and submit papers.
You don't have to formally respond. If ever in the future you get a code enforcement citation again, you may want to call the town when you get it. That way they can tell you sort of when your hearing is and they can confirm. Because what you could have done is when you got the notice, you could have gotten the permit obtained prior to even having to come to this hearing.
Well, that's what was planned.
And your
Yeah,
contractor
that's what I
didn't help you.
found out
Yeah,
that he hasn't
yeah.
submitted.
yeah, your contractor didn't help you on that
Because
one.
I don't like being late. I
Yeah.
like being everything.
All right, anything further from the town?
No.
All right, let me just check the affidavit. Okay, posted on 9/5, okay. Okay, in case 2024-022, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the posting affidavit and the other certified mail documents that are in the case file that the town had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the documents, which include the police report and the testimony of town staff and the respondent, that the respondent's in violation of section 6751 for work inside the unit without the required permits. I'll require a respondent to comply with that section by having the permit issued by the town within 30 days. What fine amount is the town seeking in the event of non-compliance on both of these?
Just total would be $100.
Okay.
So full compliance.
Okay. All right. The first part of the order will say that you need to comply by having the permit issued within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter. The second part of the order will also require that you complete the work within 90 days of the date of the order, which will be dated today. Or again, the $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter. The town doesn't bring you back for fine assessment hearings. So on day 31, if you don't have a permit issued, the fine automatically starts running. The same thing on day 91. So if there's an issue and there's some kind of delay that you're anticipating, make sure you're in contact with the town. Let them know where you are so that they can, if there's anything they can do, they can at least know that you're having an issue with timing.
Okay.
Because I have found you in violation, the town is entitled to its administrative costs for today's hearing. Those are in the amount of $173.96, and those are payable within 30 days. So that'll also be in the order that you receive. I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully everything, 90 days should be plenty of time, but again, keep in touch with the town
Well,
if
the
you have
only
any
thing
trouble.
that I could see would be a problem if, because of hurricanes, the production of cabinets is delayed and that I don't get some in. Other than that, I don't see reason.
If something like that happens, just stay in touch with Ms. Avery, and we can always come back before the magistrate and ask for an extension if it's something outside your control.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, appreciate that.
sure.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, anything further?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll adjourn at 10:14.